Achilles descensus aveno, noctes atque dies patet atre iano aditus. Sed revocare gradum superas quaeraderados.
Hoc opus hic labo est.
Edith.
Good afternoon, Father. You see, I still remember my Virgil.
I didn't hear you come up there.
Oh, you were far away. Finding the descent to Hades easy. But to find your way back... Quiet, Roy!
Trace one's steps out to the upper air. That's the task.
That is the labour. Well, I'm taking Roy here to the upper air of the high meadow. Give him a run.
Good.
Oh,
Seems in need of it.
you never do so now. And you and he were once so close.
Quieten him, Edith. And I have more to occupy me than walking a bad-tempered old wolfhound.
He's not bad-tempered. He's been missing you. How's Alice?
Miss Morphy is very well indeed. I said, hold him, Edith!
I'm doing my best, Father. What's the matter with you?
Take the beast away!
Yes, Father.
Take him away before I summon better to have him taken away for good. Shot! That's the medicine for mad dogs. Or strangled. Better still strangled with my own hands.
Father!
I could do that, you know. I have the strength for it. Don't you doubt I have the strength to rid myself of a feeble old brain, softened, ranting brute.
The Creeping Man by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, dramatized for radio by Robert Forrest, with Clive Medicine as Sherlock Holmes and Michael Williams as Dr. John Watson, and featuring Robin Ellis as Professor Presbury. The Creeping Man.
Holmes. Holmes, I've been here for half an hour.
Not quite, Watson, not quite.
And you haven't uttered a word.
Oh, there was a time you showed more understanding of, or at least patience with, my protracted reveries.
I do understand.
Curious facts have been submitted to me that in turn give rise to speculation of a more general character.
Speculation that you might share with me.
Yes, presently.
Since I am here at your request, your seemingly urgent request, come at once, if convenient. If inconvenient, come all the same.
Neatly worded, don't you think? And I take it by your tone, it was inconvenient.
It was, as a matter of fact.
But here you are.
Yes, here I am, having had to rearrange my entire day. My practice, you know, is not inconsiderable.
And Mrs. Watson's concern for you, it too is considerable.
Well, of course it is, but...
In addition to a thriving medical practice and an ever-watchful wife, does a lovable family dog play a part in your new domestic arrangements?
A dog? No.
But if I were to study Dr. Watson's dog, what might I learn?
I think, Holmes, even you would learn little from a hypothetical dog.
Might I witness it whining at you, tail thumping impatiently, begging to be taken out on adventures? Yes, only when you and the mutt were alone together, of course.
Holmes, what are you talking about?
I am giving serious thought to the writing of a small monograph on the uses of dogs in the work of the detective.
You mean bloodhounds?
Oh, no, that's been thoroughly explored already. No, but a dog reflects the family life. Whoever saw a frisky dog in a gloomy household or a sad dog in a happy one? Snarling people have snarling dogs, dangerous people dangerous ones, and changing canine moods may reflect changes in the family around them.
Holmes, did you summon me from my work for something so trivial?
In some ways, Watson, you never change. You never learn that the gravest issues may depend upon the smallest thing. That's Professor Presbury.
Presbury?
The Cambridge physiologist.
I know of him, of course.
But not of Roy, his devoted wolfhound, who now, after years of being the traditional, faithful, best friend of the man, has twice attacked his master. What do you make of it?
Isn't it obvious? The dog is ill, distempered.
The beast attacks no one else, and molests the professor only on very special occasions.
Curious.
Very curious. Aha! Young Mr. Bennet. Admirably prompt. Now we may learn more about our professor and his perfidious pet.
The matter, Mr. Holmes, is very delicate.
So we understand, Mr. Bennet.
The relation in which I stand to
Professor Pressbury.
Yes, both publicly and privately.
You see, Watson, Mr. Bennet here is not only a professional assistant to the great scientist, but lives under his roof and is engaged to his only daughter.
Congratulations, Mr. Bennet.
Thank you. But the thing is, I don't see how I can, justify myself if I speak before
Before...
a third person.
I see. Have no fear, Mr. Bennet. Dr. Watson here is the very soul of discretion.
Oh, I don't doubt that at all.
I can assure you, Mr. Bennet.
In fact, I was just about to impart all I know of the case to him, so please do continue.
There have been fresh developments.
Excellent. That's what I hoped for. But first I shall proceed to outline, to share with my invaluable friend and colleague the course of events so far.
I suppose I must accept your assurances, Mr. Holmes.
Of course you must do that. Now, the Professor is a man of European reputation. His life has been academic, illustrious.
Never a breath of scandal.
Not one.
Certainly not.
Oh, not one breath of scandal, then, in all his 61 years. And now this most respectable widower has become engaged to the daughter of Professor Morphy, his colleague in the chair of comparative anatomy. The lady, Alice Morphy, is an admirable match for the Professor in both mind and body. Is that not so?
Yes, she is.
And intellectually most accomplished for a girl of 24 years. 24, Watson. Then, not long after this happy engagement was announced, a little mystery clouded the Professor's normal routine. He left home. Left home? With no indication of where he was going. He was away a fortnight, is that correct?
Yes, and returned.
Altered.
In certain ways. His intellect was not affected. His lectures were as brilliant as ever, if not even more so.
But there was an alteration, as if he were under some shadow.
Mr. Holmes.
Those are your words, Mr. Bennet. Something sinister, you said. Not the man you'd known and admired for years, you frankly stated. And if I'm to help you, you must continue to be so frank with me and with Dr. Watson.
Very well.
You were aware of the change in the Professor as soon as he returned?
From the very hour he returned. He threw himself back into his work with, if anything, more vigour, more brilliance than before. But, yes, he was altered.
Blood tomorrow, Bennet. I shall announce my return with a dissertation, a very rhapsody on the blood of life. Blood must have its course, lad. And every dog its day.
Yes, sir.
Well, you agree with Mr. Kingsley, then?
Mr. Kingsley?
Mr. Charles Kingsley, the Chartist clergyman who railed against celibacy and wrote much about water. An obsession instilled in him I've always maintained by his cold compulsory baths at school. Put the books down, boy. And find me that portfolio of vascular diagrams.
Right, sir.
We may agree with Kingsley, Bennet, who said also that we must do noble things, not dream them. But we can no longer agree with Harvey in his explication of the blood. Or rather, we now see more deeply, more clearly into the complexity and versatility of that. It's not up there, boy, certainly not up there.
It's a purple folder, isn't it?
Yes, tied with yellow cord. It must take a morning soon to reorganize this place. We've allowed too much clutter to accumulate. But it's good to be back, surprisingly good. And my first lecture tomorrow will be a declaration of intent on my part. My intent to do more than simplify difficult matters for inferior, immature minds. My intent to do new work, bold work.
The air of the company in Prague must be supremely invigorating, sir.
Prague?
Yes, I had a letter from a fellow student there. He mentioned in passing that he...
Give you a full account of my work there, did he, this student fellow?
No, he merely saw you across the street.
Well, no matter. Find that portfolio.
Yes, sir.
Oh, such a genius the man was. William Harvey. Here it is. De Mutu Cordis on the motion of the heart and blood in animals, 1628. A new age began then, Bennet. Perhaps a new age is beginning now. Our knowledge of the constituents and functions of the blood. Leave that alone!
Sir?
Leave it be! You meddling young fool! Bring it here! Here! Give it to me. This box, Bennet, this box you so carelessly handle.
Sir, I merely lifted
It contains only personal material, private material. It is no concern of yours.
I understand, sir. I was only moving it out of my way.
There are other things that are not your concern.
Well, of course, sir, I wouldn't...
You are not my son, and you are not yet even my son-in-law. You will agree I am entitled to some privacy. Let us not say secret. Some proper privacy from a mere secretary and assistant, however much confidence I have in him.
Of course.
And I do have confidence in you, Bennett. I am confident you will respect my wishes, carry out my instructions. As to certain correspondence I expect from London.
Correspondence?
Letters, Bennett. Letters and packages of a strictly private nature from London, which will be marked beneath the stamp with a cross. You understand?
A cross beneath the stamp?
Just so. Letters and packages so marked are not to be opened by you, if you value your place here and your happy position with my daughter.
And correspondence so marked did arrive?
Yes, there have been several such deliveries.
And you obeyed the Professor's command? You've no idea of their contents?
None. They come from London. They were addressed in a rather illiterate handwriting. Beyond that, I know nothing.
Yes, and the box you so angered him by touching?
Mr. Holmes, the new development I mentioned, the incident the night before last.
Yes, I've been wondering about that.
All in good time, Mr. Bennett. All in good order. Huh? That's the proper method. My method. The box.
I can tell you little about it. Wooden, quaintly carved. I think he must have brought it back from Prague.
Its contents, too, are a mystery to you.
Yes. All I know is he keeps the key to it on his watch chain.
When did the incident you just described take place?
Early in July. In fact, I can tell you the exact date. I have it here. The 2nd. And it was on that date, too, that Roy first attacked the Professor. On July the 11th, there was a similar scene, which Edith witnessed. Again on July the 20th. Then we had to banish the dog to the stables.
Admirable.
But he had been such an affectionate animal.
I mean, you're an admirable witness. It seems you do appreciate my method.
I learned method, Mr. Holmes, from my great teacher, Professor Presbury.
Now, Miss Edith Presbury.
Edith?
The Professor's daughter, your fiancée. Did she, too, note the disturbing change in her father's character?
Well, yes, she did, of course, but I don't see the relevance of that. She knows even less than I do about the marked letters.
There's more to this than marked letters, Mr. Bennett. And you've agreed, have you not, to be utterly frank with me?
Yes, I have.
Because we have to violate a deeper privacy than the Professor's correspondence.
I don't understand.
It is understanding we seek, is it not? Now, tell me what your fiancée has confided in you about her father's altered behavior.
The day he came home from Prague, the first time she saw him on his return.
Come on now, Roy. Good boy. We'll keep each other's spirits up. We'll have a run in the meadow. Let the fresh air... Father! Oh, you're home.
So I am, Edith, so I am. And how wonderful it is to see you.
We were so worried. No word from you.
And to see Roy. Good boy, good old boy.
Where have you been?
Both of you look radiant, as the garden does, as home does, everything does.
Father, please. We've been so anxious.
Where I've been is of no matter. Now I'm home. I have nothing to tell you that you need to know, or that would entertain a young lady. But you have much to tell me.
Tell you?
Oh, I've been homesick, Edith, very sick and failing indeed. But now I'm well, healthy and well, and eager to be doing. Don't I look well?
Well, yes, you do, but...
Oh, that chestnut tree is splendid, isn't it? And the lawn positively shines. Alice, how is Alice?
She's well. But of course she too has been at a loss.
At a loss? My Alice? Not for company, I'll wager. No doubt a host of young fools has been buzzing around her like foraging bees. Oh, that fatuous swarm will now be dispersed, annihilated. The honey's all mine. Mine. And mine alone.
Pride. That was the word she used. He seemed so proud. Some breakthrough in his work, I assume. New work, he said to me. Bold work.
And yet, according to Edith, he didn't talk about his work.
No. About his Alice.
Gentlemen, I feel I must tell you about the night before last.
Yes, September the 4th. 9.
9 what?
A meaningful number, I think.
Holmes, what are you talking about?
Do tell us what happened on this significant date, Mr. Bennett.